So in this video, I'm going to start dismantling some of the engine to see if I can figure out where they screwed it up. Because I got a proper ECU now, and it does not have a check engine light still. So could be wiring somewhere or something. So I'm just going to start dismantling the area where this person worked on the car and see if I can find something that's just unplugged or fucking shit up. So yeah, let's get going.
Next level. Next level.
Yeah, buddy. When I start turning it over, then spray.
Alright. I'm just getting my hand in position.
Quick little update. Dismantled a lot of things, and as you saw from the previous clip, was able to get it started with starting fluid. Now, with that said, it didn't run well. I didn't expect it to. We don't have the intake and the mass airflow sensor hooked up, and I don't think the car has any coolant in it either. So there were a lot of noises and computer's not happy. But leads me to believe, okay, the fuel pump may not be working. I need to, because I'm pretty sure that's the fuel pump relay. Yeah, that's the fuel pump relay because it says so right there. See? Fuel pump right there. And I'm pretty sure I've heard that click, but I've never heard anything from the back. So, what I'm going to do is, well, put the intake back together, then probably find a cheap fuel pump option and see if I can get the thing started. So yeah, let's get to reassembly. Okay, now that that's done, next step is to remove the back seat. Believe it's just this that I have to remove. If not, I'll remove that too. But yeah, but first I have to order a fuel pump. So we'll give that a go. So, while I'm waiting for the new fuel pump, I decided to start dismantling. Here's the back seat. All that held this in was four bolts at the bottom, one on this side and equally on that side. And then there was one, you can see the hook there, pretty close to the armrest. But there was one here, one over there, and the middle ones were blocked by the seat belts in the middle. So remove those seat belts, and then you have access to the bolts. But to do all this, you also have to get this loose, which is just 2 tabs. One that is around here at the bottom. Well, let's see if I can give you a better look. Oh, yeah, see, there you go. There's the tab. So you undo those 2 tabs, one on each side. The front of the seat will come up, and then you can just pull that seat out. Then that will give you access here to undo the middle seat belts, the buckles. Then you undo the 4 bolts at the bottom, and this will kind of lift out. So you pry it up, push it out, and it's good. Then after that, you see that little silver thing there? That's more or less just kind of glued in or adhesive in. That's where you replace the fuel pump. So yeah, just need to get a fuel pump. Hooray! Time to replace the fuel pump. What it looks like I will need is the stuff. I'm guessing, well, yeah, not sure if I have to remove those, but that's 8mm, so gonna remove those, pull the fuel sending unit out, and replace the fuel pump. Let's get going.
Next level.
So before I continue any further, I'm going to sanity check that the fuel pump is not engaging or anything like that, because it looks really freaking clean back here. Wires don't really look bad. It almost looks new, but it could just be that it doesn't get a lot of crap back here. So I'm going to go check that real quick before I remove anything. Be right back.
Next level.
Quick little intermission. New fuel pump is in the bracket. This I had to really fight to get this sock on, or strainer. I think it's fuel pump sock, strainer, whatever. I just used the old hoses because they didn't look bad, and I'm not looking to daily drive this, so I didn't really feel like cutting, and who cared. The old fuel pump, well, it doesn't look like the worst thing I've ever seen. The sock right there looks like it's, I don't know, almost looks like it's been burned or something. So, who knows? Maybe this was the issue, but here's the old fuel pump. I did not hear it turn on at all. With the back seat, everything removed. I jumped the FP and B plus on the diagnostic port under the hood just to say, okay, turn on the fuel pump. Went in, put the key in the on position, and nothing. Not even the sign of it was trying to go. So I'm hoping it's not like some weird wiring thing or some shit somewhere, but I did hear a relay go off a couple times under the hood. So who knows? But anyway, let's get back to installation. Okay, so now we have the fuel pump hooked up. I'm going to try this without jumping the FP to B plus or plus B terminal. Let's just see what happens. Battery's hooked up. Let's hope for the best. Let's listen. I don't hear shit. Well, that was another fail, so back to the forum. Small little update as I close out this video, since I can't seem to figure this shit out quite yet. So, some of the diagnostic crap I had been doing was in here. So, one of the issues I found was that here in the diagnostic port, when I would jump FP and B+, whichever one is which, I jump them together, I'd get nothing from the fuel pump. I replaced the fuel pump. That was probably a mistake, because that didn't fix the problem. Then I ended up running a positive wire from here to the fuel pump in the back and was able to get the fuel pump to turn on. So I found some posts on the forum that had me trying things like, hey, you know, jumper. So this is the EFI main relay. Jumper pin 2 and 4. Yeah, jumper pin 2 and 4. And, you know, you might be able to get it to start or whatever. Because when I plug this in, I get nothing. When I would jumper those 2 pins, I'd actually get life here. I would hear things. And then, when I would jumper these 2, I'd get the fuel pump going full speed. At that point, I was able to get the motor to start for 1 second and then turn off. With that, I was also able to get RPMs to show when turning the motor over. So, I've got maybe some electrical problem somewhere. I know this car has hit a deer before, but I don't think the damage would be enough to cause like main harness issues. I looked up here and I looked at the harness, no signs of like rubbing or anything, and since this car has not been like lowered or VIP'd, leads me to believe that it's probably not that, but I'm still trying to investigate. So, I also learned something, that if there's 4 things that these ECUs look for: MAF signal, cam position, crank position, and something else. If it doesn't find one of those 4 things, it'll turn off the fuel pump. From what I understand, one of these relays, you notice I don't have one here, so one of these relays will shut off the power to the fuel pump. The forum hasn't been able to answer yet which one. Like, are both of these needed to be able to start this car, or what? So I've got one hooked up. I'll probably go to a junkyard and get another one unless someone can answer me. But anyway, due to the amount of time I am taking on this, I'm going to cut this video short. Or, well, it's probably a little longer than it should be, but so look to part 3 where I should begin this engine running. I hope, because I can start on the next project. So anyway, have fun. Bye-bye. May not be useful yet, but may be useful on the next video. Bye-bye.